Hey, we're at the Wood Magazine booth here at the Woodworking Show in Atlanta, and I am here with Jim Heavey, who works for Wood Magazine, and he is a professional demonstrator for Wood Magazine, which is a pretty cool sounding job. So let's talk with Jim and find out some more about it. So just tell me your background, I guess, your interest in woodworking, and maybe how you got started with Wood Magazine to begin with.
Well, I started with wood about 10 years ago. I started, they saw me at a trade show where I was working for Bosch Tools, demonstrating routers, and using one of the routers that had been reviewed by the magazine. So, of course, let them know that I enjoyed the review and everything, so it worked out pretty well. And what I've done for them since is that when there are shows like this, the magazine sends me out to teach, and I try and keep that in the spirit of the magazine, which is generally beginning to middle of the road woodworkers. So we try and direct our conversations and all of the education things we do to those kind of people. So that's what we're doing this weekend.
So tell me just roughly how many shows that you do a year.
Well, we do, the woodworking show is 27 shows, so in a season that goes from late September to early May. So we're pretty much there every weekend. It's a Thursday through Sunday type arrangement, and it is nationwide. So you go to both coasts, and you're at the north and south end of the country. So it helps Wood Magazine too, because a lot of its editors want to know what the public feels about their designs in different parts of the country. So it's kind of a very symbiotic relationship. So I bring the magazine to them, and they bring their ideas back to me, and I keep in contact with the magazine.
Well, and that's what's going to keep a magazine afloat, is knowing what the customers that's buying the magazine wants. Well, tell me a little bit about, do you do basically the same type demonstration at most shows, or just kind of give me an idea of what you're demonstrating for the Wood Magazine at the shows?
Well, what we did in the last few years, I have taught finishing for the entire weekend, where I've taught different things on finishing. Last year I decided to do 3 different projects, so every day was a different project. So the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday had a wine cabinet, a jewelry box, and a small box besides the jewelry box that made it look like that we were taking the person from cabinet making to real small things to real big things. And this year decided to blend those a little bit with just a little hint of DIY, because it appears as though a lot of the people that are coming into woodworking are going to be pulled in from the DIY side. Our magazine, like most others, attract the 45 to 70-year-old person, and that's where we're seeing most of our readership, but we're looking for that 20 to 30-year-old person, and DIY will do it. So in this one, the first one, I talk about setting up a miter saw and how to align it and the like, but then I use that to cut crown molding flat, so we show them how to do that. And then we have some projects based on the crown molding that I'll tell them about. The last one that I just did was inlays, appliques, banding, and glass etching for embellishing a project that they may have built, looking to personalize it a bit. And our last one is talking about wood movement and glue-up strategies, so we'll kind of hit a lot of different facets today, and again, based on this beginning to middle-of-the-road kind of information and woodworker.
So the demographic really is trying to be pulled more from the younger mindset. I mean, that's what I see, and what I'm trying to do in educating as well, is to get more of a younger woodworker started, rather than waiting until a person retires to pick up this craft. So tell me about, I guess, Wood Magazine's, how they're going about trying to get that younger demographic.
Well, I think one of the things we're doing is in the magazine we're trying to do a couple different features where they were doing projects mainly meant for young people. So it was mentoring process, where we had some of our editors showed that how they work with kids and kids in the neighborhood and that kind of thing to build the like. We occasionally get into, although we've had some real deep forays into it, then we've kind of backed off a little bit, again with some DIY type information to see if we can catch this person in the center. And then of course the traditional furniture that most people are involved in, without getting real high end and allowing the average person comfort level in trying to finish something. So the joinery is somewhat basic, but we will tip them into trying to get them to try dovetails occasionally or try something else. But it's that way to kind of blend those different age groups and stay appropriate. And then my coming out here is mainly trying to use this format to generate interest among younger people. The problem they're having is that the show is trying to identify and through marketing attract those people is where the rubber hits the road right now. It's kind of a tough thing.
Well, and the trouble, and I see too as well, is that the younger demographic is what everybody is wanting to go after as well. So there's a lot of noise out there But it seems like that a lot of the DIY type shows on TV and things are pulling more people into trying to do things for themselves, which kind of dovetails into what Wood Magazine is trying to do. Once those people have that, I guess, gleam in their eyes that, hey, maybe I can do this, and then maybe furniture is something they start thinking about, you know, maybe I can do that as well.
Exactly.
So
it's kind of fun, and again, we see such varied people from different parts of the country. Everybody's a woodworker, but different parts of the country just seem to have these little niches, and it's kind of fun to not only figure out what they are, but try and find a way to satisfy them when you're trying to do one program all season, and then blend it depending upon the area you're going to. So here it's perfect. This is a heat humidity place. We'll go to Minnesota in a couple of weeks where it's less heat and more cold, and then they talk about shop issues and how do I keep glue to getting that glue to work, and going to Florida and finding all the rust issues with their tools and like. So you have to be pretty light on your feet here to make sure that you cover all of these.
I never would have thought about that. I live in the South, and you talk about heat and humidity, wood shrinking and expanding. That's a major concern. But somewhere where maybe in Nevada or somewhere where the humidity is not as bad, that's not an issue, not a big humidity there. Yeah, absolutely. Well, Jim, thank you so much for your time. Check out Wood Magazine if you're at the least bit interested in woodworking. I know that you at least saw Wood Magazine at your newsstand. Check it out; it's a great resource, especially if you're just getting started or want to take your woodworking up to the next level. Thanks again, Jim.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks. Good.